Hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Let's see who we have. Hi, Pico. Hi, LeBreton. How are we doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Otinoko, what is going on, sir? How are we doing today? Long time no see. Hopefully life has been treating you well. And we have Brady as well. Hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully we are doing all right. Hopefully we're having a good start to the week, or the start of the week hopefully has been all right for everybody. And we're set up to finish the week strong. What's going on, Act? How are we doing today? You did, in fact, make it. Congratulations. Odo says, I've been chilling. I need to work on a collab for my next post. Collabing with Reed Bird Herb. Very cool. I look forward to it. You had just done a collab with Gibby, didn't you? Am I remembering that correctly? That was really cool. I liked it. And LeBreton says, we locked in. Are you asking or are you telling? I'm about as locked in as I ever am. I've missed the last couple because of concerts. No worries, no worries. Hopefully they were good shows. Yes, Gibson collab was fun. Very cool. I'm glad to hear it. I enjoyed watching it. What's going on, IDK? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully the first half of the week had treated you well. No, that was not going to work out. And Act says, I saw Tori Amos Wednesday and Bob Dylan on Saturday. That is quite the pairing. My wife was a huge fan of Tori Amos, if I recall correctly. I had one of her albums, and I enjoyed it, but I would not say that I've ever been a diehard Tori Amos fan myself. But I appreciate music. 3 says hi. Eldon says hi. IDK says, is it me or is the camera quality bad? Hopefully it's just you. You guys let me know if the camera quality is bad. David says, hello there, Bali Unc. Hello there, David. How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully the week is treating you well. And we have Matthew as well. Hi, Matthew. How are you doing today? Hopefully well. Hope I'm not late, says David. No, we just got started about 3 minutes ago. Fire hat. Thank you very much. For some reason, it seems like every time I wear this hat, you comment on it. Tony says something that YouTube is trying to translate. Oh, hello. Hi, Tony. How are you today? Welcome to the show. Matthew says, does anyone know the band Good Kid? I do. I have been told by countless people that I need to listen to them, and I have not, admittedly, given them the time that I should. LeBreton says, but I just made some cookies, so I'm a little bit less sad. Well, that's good. Let me make sure I'm on top chat. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, I filmed a clip today and autofocus completely ruined it. Sadness. That brings us to the making some cookies and a little bit less sad. Well, good. I'm glad you got a clip in. I'm sorry autofocus wasn't your friend. I'm glad you have cookies. Man, you guys are chatty today. I'm digging it. Okay. Hi, LeBreton. Check DMs. Good Kid is good. Indeed, it is. I fixed my sleep schedule a little bit. Good. I'm glad. Let's see. What kind of cookies did you make? Yeah, what kind of cookies did you make, LeBreton? Chocolate chip? What's the end valley? The one closest? This one right here? This is the Bowie refault. So Thomas Balisong refault with the Bowie blade. This is the one that I had attempted to dye super pink and failed, and ended up with this very purpley plum. Odo says, I'm a top 20 good kid listener, LMAO. Then we have Burgundy Blade showing up. What's going on, sir? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully you are doing well. How's your snake? Ducky is doing well. Probably he's been, or she, I'm sorry, she has been out and about a little bit more in the last day or two than she usually is. So I'm wondering if she's letting me know that she's ready for her next meal. She's supposed to be fed this weekend. I might feed her earlier into the weekend just because she seems, what's a good word for it? She seems less complacent. Bali Unc, can you help convince my parents to purchase a Bali with my birthday money because they think I'm spending too much money on a piece of metal? Well, I don't really want to get into that one with your parents, just simply because I can understand where they're coming from. I mean, to a certain degree, if you think about it, not to play devil's advocate, but on one hand, options are good. Having a variety is good. I am one to talk. I have quite the variety, and there is benefit in having many things to flip. However, coming from their perspective, where they're not flippers, they don't necessarily understand that angle. From their side of things, I can understand where you have a couple options already, and each of those are totally flippable, very serviceable Balis. Your Teflon a little bit less than some, or not your Teflon, your Vulp a little bit less than some. But I mean, you have the Canyon, you have the cheese. Correct me if I'm wrong, David. Didn't you just get a handful of Balis? Some of which being pretty good additions to your collection. So while I would not necessarily jump on the bandwagon of trying to convince your parents otherwise, because I can understand where they would be coming from. I wouldn't dissuade you either. I mean, you do you. I'm an outsider. It's your birthday money. That's between you and your parents. Let's see. Tony said Odo and Reed collab gonna be fire. I agree. I don't know what I was going to say. Okay, and then there's plenty of inexpensive pieces of metal to flip. There are plenty of inexpensive and expensive. There are plenty of metal things to flip. Chocolate chip cookies, excellent. And then David says, my Vulp has unfortunately passed away recently. I meant getting one later and not right away now. Okay, got it. Or not right now. Okay, got it. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not one to talk somebody out of getting a new Bali. But I can definitely understand where a parent wanting you to make the best financial decisions you could possibly make would be coming from. So, pins won't stay in even with Loctite. And one of the handles bent and cracked. Wow, and my washers won't fit in him now. That sucks. I am sorry. Let's see. What knife do you want? You're asking David. David, is there something in particular that you're hoping to get, or are you just trying to clear the path for an opportunity to get something new and don't necessarily have your eyes set on something yet? I could run him washerless, but he doesn't deserve it. And Shroom says, hi, I'm here now. I was finishing you owe my meditation. No problem. Hi, Shroom. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully you are doing well today. And Odo says, honestly, in my eyes, if a parent is letting their child buy things with birthday money, Limiting them from getting what they want as long as it's not dangerous is a little strange. Um, yeah, I can understand that. I mean, there are so many different angles that you can approach that from. I tend to be able. Well, I try to put myself in a position where I can kind of understand all sides of the situation. So I'm one of those people that I have historically enjoyed arguing with people because I can argue the opposite stance of anybody, regardless of the topic. I just, these days I don't like to do that. So now I just try to do my best to use use that arguing skill to understand rather than argue. My goodness. Um, it's about wait, okay. I was hoping for an ATD concept memento. I'm not familiar with that. It's about $100. Gotcha. Which Kraken have you been most? Or wait, have you been the most lately? Is it still the service Kraken? Okay, so since I had gotten the trainer, that one admittedly is the one that I flip the most often, just because it's new and shiny, and I like new and shiny things. However, when I am going through my collection or in preparation for the Kraken video that I had just done yesterday, I think it was. I think it was yesterday. In preparation for that, I was making sure to spend time with the other ones so that I could make notes of the differences that I was feeling when flipping them. And of the three, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not having kind of mentioned it in the video, but at the end of the day, of the three, the trainer, the full channel Kraken, and the speed channel Kraken, this one ticks all of it. All of the boxes get ticked regardless, but this one is the most. I don't want to say the most competent, but where, like in that video I kind of mentioned, this one is great on rollovers and chaplains, but kind of struggles a little bit for me with the fans. This one is really good with the chaplains and the fans, but struggles a little bit sometimes when I'm not paying attention when I'm doing the rollovers. This one doesn't struggle on any of those, as well as all of the other tricks that I've been working on and trying to learn, with the exception of the choker fan. For some reason, the Kraken handles are just really hard for me to get a consistent choker fan on, which really, really sucks, because Blue Bomber, I see you are here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. I appreciate you dropping that clip of the infinite loop that you can do to get into or to continue your practice of the choker fan. I have been doing that I don't want to say pretty regularly, because I haven't been, because I've been focusing so much on the Krakens, and the Krakens I don't chaplain well with. But today I have been carrying the Orion S, and that I can chaplain very confidently with, and do find myself doing that infinite loop quite a bit when I'm thinking about it. I can't do it mindlessly yet, but that has become a staple in my intentional flipping to get some choker fan practice. So thank you so much for doing that short for me. Let's see. What's your favorite in your collection, Unc? How's the answer holding up? So my favorite is kind of a hard one to say, because it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm trying to make sure that choker fans are incorporated, the Orion S, without question. This is my most competent Bali. Everything that I want to do, I can do better than anything else with the Orion S. But there are, and it's hard to put my finger on it, but there are some things. I think just general feel of the hand. This is feeling a little lackluster. It doesn't feel as solid to me. It flips great. I can do everything with it. But as far as feel in the hand, it would be the Community Kraken. Though I admittedly do enjoy the slight ring of the trainer blade, and I love the pink of the trainer blade. I still am toying around with doing like a bite handle swap so that each of these has one teal handle and one pink handle, so that regardless of whether I go trainer or live blade, I have the pink on me, I have the teal on me. I think that would be cool. Not sure yet. And then as far as like just pretty Bali that I'm proud to say that I own, the answer definitely. It's definitely holding up. It has not lost its lure for me. I have not been carrying it around nearly as much as I had for the first month after Blade Show. And because of that, I haven't been flipping it nearly as often as I had. But every time I pick it up and start flipping it, it is just, I mean, it's like a glove. It just fits. I very, very, very much enjoy everything about the answer, especially because it's not super humid right now, so it's not overly grippy. So I think that answers your. So it would be between the answer, the full channel Kraken, either live blade or trainer, or the Orion S. That's the best I can do as far as what's my favorite. It's very conditional, but depending on the condition, it's one of those three. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Nabalis really should be pressing those pins in, or pins and all. Yes, I agree. Though I even had a pin fall out on my Sirius. Really? I'm sorry. I've never had any pins issues. I guess I'm lucky. I hadn't for the longest time. It probably took about 8 months for my Teflon Vulp to start getting a wiggly pin. But even then it was just wiggly. It never started like coming out. And then after I did the handle swap on the cheese with Dasuko, I do have a Zen pin that keeps sliding a little bit out on this now that before it hadn't been an issue. On the Cat, no issues whatsoever. So as far as my Nabalis ones are concerned, yeah, the biggest issue I have is with the cheese, but still it hasn't come out all the way yet. And admittedly, I haven't taken the time to super glue it in, which I really need to do. Okay. What's the difference? Okay, hold on. How's the Kiss Goodbye coming along? So very much enjoy doing it. I am very competent at it until we get to the end, where per the instructions I was following, per the tutorial I was following, I'm supposed to somehow go from here around into, catching it like that. I, for the life of me, can't figure out how to do that fluidly. But LeBreton pointed out that I could also kind of drop it into a shortstop type catch. And that I haven't smoothed out yet, but as far as like all of the ricochets of the Kiss Goodbye, I do it pretty regularly. So I would say it's going pretty well. Okay, and then Tevko says, what's the difference between the Kraken trainer and the Tonto? So the trainer blade is lighter than the Tonto blade, which makes the overall balance profile more handle bias on the trainer than it is on the live blade. Also, the live blade, the trainer, because it has the cutouts, It gives it a ring when you open it, when you close it, and periodically, depending on the trick, when you're doing various ricochets, you might hear a ring from the trainer blade. With the Tonto blade, I mean, there's nothing that's going to create a ring. So if you have full channel, you're not going to have a ring. You're just going to have the clack. If you have speed channel, you'll have much more of a ring, but it's from the speed channel versus the blade. That, for the most part, is really the big difference between the two. So, all right, and then LeBreton is back. Phone died. Blue Bomber says, no problem. I can't do them mindlessly either. LOL, maybe one day. Matthew says, I watched the Odyssey last night. It was pretty sweet. Yeah, I want to watch that eventually. I just don't go to movie theaters anymore, so it'll be a while before I have the opportunity. Brady says, perfect answer, bro. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I lived up to your expectation of not being able to actually deliver a straight answer. My Kite AL is definitely my second favorite knife after I dyed the scales. Oh, okay. I completely forgot that you actually dyed the scales. Very cool. I'm glad. It wasn't your second favorite. I thought it was already your second favorite. Or did the I always forget what that thing is called. The one that you won. Had that been your number 2 spot? I've been able to fix the Sirius, but I flip a lot at work and a lot of hard surface drops. Odo says, man, I want a feather blade Cygnus V1 so bad. I've heard a lot of people recently talking about the feather blade. I'm not 100% familiar with what it looks like. Loctite the cheese. Yeah, but blue. I only have blue Loctite. I don't think I have any red Loctite. And at that point, I might as well, I mean, just super glue it. Why must I be broke? That's the question for the ages. Or tape it. That's what I do. Yeah, I don't like I mean, because a lot of people also have said, you know, hey, instead of using sandpaper and actually dulling the blade of your ballets, why don't you just use tape? I'm not a fan of putting adhesives on my balisongs. So that's really what it boils down to. It's kind of like flipping with Band-Aids on. I can't do it. I hate the feel. My cheese does that too. Brian says, hey man, it was fun hanging out with you. Glad you showed up to the meet. Thank you for adding me to that group chat and getting me an invite to the meetup. I am glad that I went. I am apologetic for being so quiet the whole time. But while I can talk, you know, for extended periods of time on stream pretty easily, as you know, it's much more difficult for me to do in person. So, but I am glad that I went. I am glad that I got to see a lot of the people that I got to see. And I'm sorry that I didn't get an opportunity to talk to a lot of the people that I never got to meet. David says, I just assembled my Vulp with no washers and he has no closed gap. He has no closed gap. Meaning what, I'm not sure I know what you mean by no closed gap. I think I destroyed him when I put my extra Kraken blade in him. Yeah, I don't know. I was just hesitant because I don't flip it too much. Okay, got it. It's just the non-Bowie blade the Cygnus has. Okay. I'll have to take a look. I'm not sure. And then OMG, Brian Beaver is here. I love that guy. Everybody loves that guy. You're all good, man. It was still amazing to hang out with you and show you a few things. Agreed. And you know, thank you for showing me what you did. I can't do any of it, but I do appreciate you showing me. You know, it might be beneficial for me, for you to, if you can like, specifically, it wasn't the fan one. There were 3 different like loops that we were talking about. One was a fan. I can't remember what the other one was. And it really caught my attention. You were doing it faster than I could process what you were doing. if you can think of whatever else it was that you had showed me that was kind of like an infinite loop sort of thing, and shoot me a cherry picker. That's what it was. Yes. If you can show me, like, do a clip of a cherry picker loop in slow mo and send it my way, I would truly appreciate that because my cherry pickers are not that great at the moment. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're not. I could use some practice. So being able to loop it would be of great benefit to me. Coupled with the fact that just kind of like my chaplains are always up here, and I know a lot of people do like lower chaplains. My cherry pickers are also up here, and I know that you are doing it much much lower. And I don't know, you sending me a slow mo of that loop may help me kind of figure out how to make it less high. And then Ghost bought a first production V1 Bowie Kraken dual toned. Sick. Oh, did he show it on stream today? I was not able to make the stream today, and now I am super bummed out that I missed it. Also, Bali Unc, my goodness. Also, Bali Unc, I think I know what you didn't understand about the kiss goodbye. I'll send you a video in the Discord server. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. What's going on? Flipping awesome. How are you doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully you are doing well and the week has been treating you well thus far. And we are caught up in chat. We'll see how long you guys have been talkative. So we'll see how long you guys, or let's see how long we stay caught up in chat and see if I might actually get some intentional flipping in. Learned the Moyes roll wasn't that hard. Very cool. Congratulations. Yeah, so I had, what happened here? So I had, for the last couple streams, been talking about how I actually need to make a list of the tricks that I'm working on, because when I'm on stream, I'm constantly forgetting the things that I'm supposed to be trying to toss into my flipping. So I actually did finally write down a list of basically, I think, every trick that I have learned or am currently trying to learn. So if I feel that my flipping is getting stale, I can just look over and see, oh, look, cherry picker. Okay, let's do that. And we'll see how well that works. I don't know. And then LeBreton says, Moyes roll is easy and fun. LeBreton learn Pinky Moyes roll. How good is the Mako in your opinion? So, man, it really depends on where you're at in your flipping. For me, when I got the Mako before I was ready to get the Mako, I didn't know anything about balisong weight distribution, balance profiles, anything like that. I knew that the Mako was on the heavier side of the ballys that I had flipped before. But as soon as I started trying to flip it, I was finding that it was always flying out of my hands. And it wasn't until months later, after Ethan had sent me the ballys to try and familiarize myself with, after Ted had sent me the Zyzics to play around with, and then I started learning the difference between balance profiles on balisongs, and came to realize that the Mako is actually a pretty neutral-ish balanced bally, which is why it was always flying out of my hands when I was trying to mindlessly flip it. And once I figured that out, it has no longer been an issue, because I just know that I need to flip Gil like Gil is a neutral bally versus the way that I would flip the Kite AL, for example. So now that I understand balance, the difference between the balances of balisongs and how you might approach a handle bias balisong differently than the way you would approach a neutral balisong, differently than you would approach a blade bias balisong. Now I can flip Mako with no issues. So with all of that understood, how good is the Mako in my opinion? I really like it for what it is. For being a washer balisong that is not on bushings. You know, I prefer bushings, but I have never once had an issue with this. Every now and then I might have to tune it, or not tune it, tighten a screw. But even then, it's been very rare that I've had to. There is a little bit of a tap. It isn't ridiculous. I don't, it's not like rattly or anything like that when I'm flipping it. So in general, I like it. Yeah, I think that answers your question. I probably over answered your question. Then let's see. Is that just one? Wait. Orion S comb is such a fun bally to flip. I always keep mine close by. Yeah, I can't, anytime anybody asks me what's my favorite bally, I can't not bring up the Orion S with the comb blade, because it is just, it was such a great purchase of mine. I didn't know what I was getting into. I legitimately got it specifically because it has a comb and I can use it to brush out my mustache. That was literally the only reason I got it. And just by luck of the draw, it ended up being an absolutely amazing balisong. Is that just one step down, or is that further down? Is what just one? I missed it. Oh, what you sent? Okay. Leader moist to ladder is fun too. Sent the thingy. Eldon, Timmy, are you talking about lower finger moise roll? Sent you those loops on Discord, my man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Unc, you're so awesome. I low-key zoned out since I said hi because I was ordering food, but I'm here again. Yay, welcome back, Shroom. Hopefully you've ordered some good food. Eldon says, moise roll can get into a ladder and Rev moise gets into a normal ladder. Wait. I'm not quite following you, but you're not talking to me, so that's fine. Whoa. Just wanted to say hi, Unc. Can't stay. Love your content, dude. Thank you so much, Cloud Chaser. I appreciate you dropping in to say hi. Hopefully your week has been treating you well. Hopefully you have a good rest of the week and weekend as well. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Shroom says, I got great food and I'm with Jack's mom heading to pick it up. Excellent. Hi, Jack's mom. All right. I have not flipped through random Bally's in my collection like I am now in a little bit, because I didn't stream on Saturday because I was at a Bally meet. I did the video instead for the 1 year on YouTube. So this is my first stream since last Wednesday, and I haven't had any reason other than at the Bally meetup to have all of my Bally's out. But even at the Bally meetup, I probably stuck to like 4 or 5 of my Bally's, and then was trying a couple other Bally's from other people. But Unc, I'm going to get going to get a shot in 12 hours. Scary stuff, man. Oh, you're going to get a shot in 12 hours? Yeah, you got this. Hopefully it's just like a preventative sort of thing. But needles are your friend. Well, I shouldn't say that that's not a blanket statement. Needles that are used by doctors when appropriate are your friend. You don't need to be scared of them. You got this. Oh my gosh. Every now and then I say something that I immediately I'm like, that can be taken out of context. I shouldn't say that on YouTube. I don't like the sentence. No, it's fine. I was kidding. Needles are your friend. Take it from Unc. No, that's out. You're oversimplifying. Well, I oversimplify. I guess you are quoting me, but I quickly corrected myself. I'm not scared of needles. That's good. Just not doctors, professionals. What? Not just doctors, professionals. True, true, true. Um, quote unquote. Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I was going through my old stuff, I found a lot of quotable moments that I could a lot of quotable moments that I could have thrown into my 1 year doing YouTube video. Um, yeah, some of them I kept in there, but there was a fair amount in there that I was like, man, I did not think before I said that. I'm terrified of needles, to be honest. Don't think about that too much. And thinking about me. Legally acquired needles are friends. That's true. Yeah, because honestly, there are some needles that like an EpiPen, for example, has a needle in it. Does not need to be administered by a professional because if you are having an allergic reaction and you need epinephrine, you know, you do that yourself if you're able to. Somebody else might do it for you. Anyway, let's. We don't need to talk about needles. I liked that video as well. The 1 year in YouTube video. Yeah, that one was it was very, very, very cringy to put together because I had to watch through a lot of stuff that I didn't enjoy. I mean, one of which, like, it was so cringy. I ended up when I did include a clip where I was flipping. I think it was the first Chaplin clip. I took the sound completely out of it because it was one of my voiceover earlier voiceover videos where I sounded like a robotic Mr. Rogers, where I was literally just reading, a script that I had written down. It wasn't even a script; it was just thoughts that I was just literally reading into a microphone and pasting over top of a flip clip. And it was so cringy. I ended up I had to take the sound out of that one because I could not. No, I could not. It's bad enough that I left it out there for people to watch at their own leisure. I didn't need to bring it to anybody's attention. Bro, I loved Robo Unc. Well, I appreciate it. Admittedly, I find Robo Unc very cringy. But I had to go through that to get my actual Unc voice now. So it was necessary. It was a necessary cringe. And I think again we are caught up. My goodness. I am not getting anywhere. I totally halted my progress with the shortstop. I felt like I was almost there, and my progress totally halted. The channel name could have been better, but it's fine now. Wait, the channel name could have been better, but it's fine now. Oh, you mean the old 24 Scott? My favorite number is 24, and my name is Scott. It was as simple as that. Did you see the Will Hirsch Kite Orion V2 review yet? It was good. Yes, I did. I liked how he had started it with his stoner voice and kept it going for a little bit too. I was actually a little disappointed when he started talking normal. Unc, have you ever had any piercings? I was thinking about it because the needle convo. Yes, as a matter of fact, I have had, yes, I have had a number of piercings. I don't have any piercings anymore. The let's give it a try. Oh, that one. Well, yeah. So it was let's give it a try because I figured when I had gotten into Bali Unc flipping, like I had said earlier, in that video, and I've said many times, I before I got into Bali Uncs, I used to go through hobbies like crazy. Um, every couple of weeks, I would be on another hobby, doing something new, going in, head first, just really diving into whatever the hobby was. And then I would get myself burnt out and I would move on to the next hobby. So I went with let's give it a try because I figured the Battle Song thing was going to fizzle out. And but I liked the idea because again, when I started doing this, I started with two things in mind. Number one, let's catalog my growth in flipping, but number two was putting some positivity out there. And I figured if the flipping thing did not continue, I wanted the positivity thing to continue. So I named it Let's Give It a Try on the off chance that Bali Songs weren't where it ended up being for me. I wanted to provide myself the ability to transition to another hobby that I was going to give a try. And unlike anything else, Bali Songs just stuck. They did not go anywhere. 24. I'm curious. I was born. I'm assuming. Okay, so the thing is, 24 has always been my favorite number. It wasn't brought up to me until I don't know. I was probably in my 20s or something that I realized that my birthday is the 24th of the month, and that may have something to do with 24 being my favorite number. I don't know for sure if that's why, but I'm fairly confident that's why. So yeah, 24. I mean, no reason beyond that. It's just as long as I can remember, 24 and 3. 24 and 3 are my two favorite numbers. And 24 is divisible by 3, so that makes that easy too. You got to tell me about them if you're comfortable in DMs or something. Okay, no problem. Yippee, positivity. Yay, positivity. I hope you don't get burnt out flipping. It would be so sad. I don't see myself ever getting burnt out flipping. I mean, a year in, and for the last, because I started streaming while I've been on YouTube for a year now. I started streaming, around January of 26. So I've been streaming, at least twice a week for the last 7 months, and I still struggle understanding how people step away from the hobby and take breaks in their flipping. You don't say 24 divided by 3 is 8, which is my favorite number, LOL. Yeah, anytime I see a number, I immediately identify whether or not it's divisible by 3, and if it is, I'm comfortable with it, and if it's not, I have an issue. For example, when I'm setting the volume on the TV or in my car on the stereo, the end result is always divisible by 3 every single time. I need it to be. I'm weird. But yeah, so like I still struggle understanding. I understand that people need to take breaks, but I don't understand how somebody would need to take a break from flipping Bali Songs just because how soothing it is for me. But again, that's me. Everybody is different. People don't have to think about it the same way I do, but based on the way that I think about it, I can't imagine, even taking one day off of flipping. Because since I started flipping, I haven't taken a day off of flipping, except maybe if I had to go on a business trip and wasn't able to bring a Bali with me, if that situation presented itself, that would have been the only time that I would have been a day without flipping. So yeah, no, it's always it's. I may not flip all day. I may not flip much in a given day, but every given day I flip. And even if I'm going someplace where I know I can't flip, I still bring a Bali with me. And I think to myself, I'm not going to have an opportunity to flip. I'm not going to flip this, in the parking lot of whatever establishment I'm going to. I'm not going to flip it inside of, the store or whatever. I know that I don't need to bring this with me, but if I don't have a Bali in my pocket, I don't feel like I'm prepared. I need it to end in 5 or 0, or it's not right. Oh, you don't say 24. Oh, yeah, no, we said that. And then, so yours was multiples of 5. I could never take a long break. I would die. Agreed. Figuratively, not literally. And I do that with multiples of 5. I can understand that. I just complicated things for me because I have to figure out if it's divisible by 3. But I'm good with 3s now. I gotta have 1 in my pocket or I feel off now. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. That's how it is for me, at least. All right. So I have fallen back into mindless flipping. So let's see if we can remember some stuff we're working on, like the helix aerial. That was not so smooth. Kiss goodbye. Oof. I like 0. It's a good number. 0 is the number who affects most of math besides addition and subtraction. Haven't tuned into a stream in a bit. Any Bali updates? Trick progress. What's going? Oh, Spark, I missed your first one. How are we doing today, Spark? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Bali updates. I think the only thing that is new, because you're aware of the answer, you might be aware of the stainless steel Astra. It is. I mean, everybody talks about it, so you should be aware. But the Kraken trainer is my most recent addition. I do have one more Bali that's going to be on its way to me. It should hopefully hit the mail sometime this week. When it comes in, I'll be unboxing it. That is the Dodo Industries Gaivo that I won in a giveaway. Man, trick progress. I have stalled out. My goodness. I have stalled out on the shortstop, so I'm still struggling there. That was more momentum than I normally have. But still working on it. I haven't been dedicating a lot of time to the shortstop recently. Though I can't do it with a Kraken as consistently, my choker fans are pretty consistent at this point. That was not great either, and that was on the wrong handle. My goodness. Yeah, my big thing right now is I keep forgetting what it is that I'm working on. So I actually, right before stream, created a list of all of the tricks that I know and am working on, so that if I feel like my flipping is stale, I can look over and remind myself, oh yeah, I can do, the kiss goodbye. Oh, I need to work on practicing the ladder. Or I don't know what else. There was something on, one that I just actually started trying to learn earlier this week was the aerial to chaplain. I know somebody had mentioned it in one of the streams that I needed to work on it. And I'm not going to be able to do it, but oh no, that was horrible. But yeah, that I've at least I don't know, worked out the concept, and I can do it enough when I'm not on stream and not feeling the pressure. I can do it enough to do the catch with the thumb there, and move into the chaplain, but I don't have it solid yet. But that's the newest one that I've added to my list. I got to go. Love everyone here. DM me and stuff. Okay, Shroom, thanks for stopping by. Have yourself a great rest of the week. Tell everybody I said hi and love to all. Yeah, so let's see. Let me actually run through this, just scan through this list real quick and see if there was anything else that I've recently added to it. But I don't think so. I think the aerial chaplain is really the last thing that I've really been working on. So I think that gets you up to speed. Practice makes perfect. Happy to help. What's going on, K-Dog? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully you are doing well. I remembered the aerial to chaplain existed after I learned the aerial to ref chaplain and the helix aerial to 0G chaplain, so it just came naturally for me. Nice, nice. Yeah, I know after I get the helix aerial cleaned up a bit, I'm going to want to try to incorporate the 0G chaplain, because I can't think of another scenario that I'm ever going to find myself intentionally getting into the 0G chaplain. Because while I can do it, literally the only time I ever do a 0G chaplain is when I'm asked if I can do a 0G chaplain. Spark says, my tsunami, that was polished by Wow Java. Should be here in a few days. Excellent. Also just finished moving into a new house, so it will be a nice housewarming gift. Excellent. Congratulations on the move, and congratulations on the new, well, not the new, the upgraded tsunami making its way to you, hopefully this week, by this weekend. And then Glacier Flips. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Glacier Flips? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully the first half of the week has treated you well and you are all set up to end it well. And David says, yeah, no, I feel that I only do it out of a cool twirl to helix aerial I got from Bali Unc Cat. Got it? Ouch! You know what I don't ever do anymore is I don't ever do the hellbent because now that I understand that the hellbent is just a cherry picker, my preference for the cherry picker is to go into a thumb chip. I find that far more satisfying, and doing the hellbent, it closes, so it ends, and I'm not looking for a way to end my flipping. I like to try to see if I can extend it as much as I possibly can. And Hellbent is one of those where it is, with the closing of the Bali, it is ending the stream of tricks. So it's going good. I got an Aeon V2 big ago. Very cool that you got the Aeon. How are you liking it? You can also do a middle finger chap out of a cherry picker, and then you could stop it with your ring finger and helix. Okay, so let me see. Oh, okay, middle finger, chaplain, and then stop it with your ring finger and helix. I don't know what you mean by end helix. I mean, from here, I would just end up going into, I don't know what I would do. But if you want to drop a clip of what you're explaining on the server, Unc likes visuals. Unc likes visual cues with flipping instruction. It sounds nice, or it's nice. It sounds awesome. Flips well. Has nice grip. Excited to get some new scales, spacers for it eventually. Very cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I was not expecting to be a big fan of the Aeon. I was a very big fan of the Aeon. At Blade Show, when I went to the Andrew Myers booth to flip the Aeon and flip the Peon, I figured I was going to give it a very quick flip. Because again, with a lot of those booths, especially, I mean, with that one too, you were standing there right in front of, in the case of the Andrew Myers booth, you were standing there right in front of Andrew and his father. And like, I did not expect that I was going to be at that booth very long because that seemed like it would be too much pressure for me. But as soon as I started flipping both of those valleys, but the Aeon especially, I didn't want to put it down. It was very enjoyable. Let's see. Also, just looks amazing. Got one with a hand ground blade, so the texture of it looks sick. Very cool. Very cool. Digging it. The Aeon is one of the few Baileys that really interests me. I would love to get one day. Yeah, it would definitely be a nice addition to my collection, or any collection. But it is definitely not something that I'm done for the foreseeable future buying Baileys. I have one more on its way to me, the giveaway, so I didn't buy it. And aside from that, there is only one Bailey that is on the horizon that I do know if I had the opportunity to pick it up, I would buy it. But aside from that, I'm happy with what I have and am going to be sticking with what I have. And I'm going to take a break from buying more. But the one that is going to be the exception to that rule is the Riptide, because the Riptide won the Nibalis crate with Nibalis this year. And I was really, really, really hoping that the Riptide would win because if you didn't know, a lot of you probably do because I've talked about it before. But the Riptide was made by Lifrix, the person behind Lifrix. And Lifrix is, without question, my favorite Bali 3D printable Bali company, I guess I would say. And I know with the Riptide, there are going to be 3D printable customization options, I would expect. And the idea of being able to get a Riptide and then 3D print, kind of like I have with the Kite AL, 3D print my own pieces and parts to further customize it. The idea really excites me. I'm in the same boat. I don't need anything else really, but if I did, that would, if I did, that's what it'd be. Oh, the Aeon. How's the answer treating you? So the answer is treating me well. It is, I haven't been flipping it nearly as much since I got the Kraken trainer, but every time in the last like week or so that I've picked it up, uh, it's it's immediately. I mean, it's not like I'm flipping something that I need to get used to. Like if I pick up the stainless steel Astra, like I can flip it, but I have to flip it for a little bit, a little bit, before it starts feeling halfway normal. Whereas this, it still immediately upon picking it up, it meets all of my preferences. I don't have to tweak or tailor my flipping style to work well with the Bali. The Bali just works well with me. Absolutely love it. And then Act did say Harvest got robbed. Yeah, I did like the look of the Harvest. I really, really, really did. The selling point for me on the Riptide over the Harvest was just, again, knowing that Lifrix does so much with 3D printing stuff. I was really sold on, what kind of options are there going to be as far as customizing. Um, and yeah, I'm a sucker for that. Have a great stream, everyone. I'm gonna go listen to some music. Have a good evening, LeBreton. Thanks for stopping in. Have an awesome rest of your day, everyone. Thank you very much. You do the same, sir. When I tried it at Blade Show, I liked it. Everyone, or I might eventually get one. I always tell myself I'll take a break from buying Baileys, but then I see something cool for a good price and I can't help myself. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, that's the exact story behind the Bandage Knife Stitch V1. I had told myself, okay, I'm not buying any more Baileys until Blade Show. Now all of my money is getting put aside until Blade Show, so that once I get there, I can buy Baileys. And then somebody had reached out to me saying, hey, I have a Stitch V1. I know you liked Ethan's Stitch V2. You have any interest? And I'm like, well, I have money, so yeah, I want that. So yeah, I understand your pain. And then David says the Pit Viper, though, I was rage baiting Ghost Baileys, saying I was going to vote it, but I never even voted. I mean, the Pit Viper was a very, very interesting looking Bailey. Not necessarily in a bad way. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about it. Of the three, that was my least preferred of the three, just simply because I liked the look of the Harvest a lot, and I liked the customizability of the Riptide the most. So because of that, the Pit what was it, Pit Viper? Yeah, the Pit Viper just had while it had a really neat looking aesthetic, and I like snakes, obviously, it just had um, the least amount of selling points for me. Ugh. What's going on, Flippopotamus? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully the first half of the week has been treating you kindly and you are all set up for a quality second half of the week. Harvest looked too much like the Kraken and the Hydra, so I voted the other one, not the Pit Viper. Yeah, so the Riptide. That's the one that I'm most excited about, just simply because I like the idea of being able to 3D print my own stuff. No chair yet. Yeah, honestly, my legs are not feeling so tired yet. You guys have been very, very talkative today. So I have no idea how crappy my flipping has been, or how many, how repetitive my flipping has been. Just simply because I've been so busy reading and responding to everybody's questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. So no, I don't have the chair yet. I have not needed to drop the desk down quite yet. Mine should have won for real. So we had a new aluminum Bailey that's not 3.5 ounces. LOL. Tony, I can't remember. I honestly, I was not paying attention at all to their Create with Nibalis stuff until we got to the top three. So I'm interested in which one yours was. Yeah, and I think we are caught up again. Mine should have been voted for. It's a katana. Nibalis didn't even pick mine, so rip. Oh, that's a bummer. So there's no place I can look to even see what yours looked like. I assume because you said a new aluminum Bali that's not 3.5 ounces, yours was heavier than that or lighter than that? I'm assuming heavier. Eh. Hmm. It's not good. Yeah, 4.1 to 4.3-ish, depending on weights. Gotcha. Okay. I have not flipped the Flamingo in a while. I love my new Balis, but the Pacific Clone just flips so bland. I want to trade it for something, maybe even sell it. Gotcha. I mean, when you say bland, is that because it flips like something else in your collection, or you just like what makes it bland? Man. Twisted. All right. Well, David jinxed me, so I'm going to throw up the be right back sign. I'm going to bring my chair around, drop my desk down, get a little bit more comfortable. So give me one moment. We will be right back. All right, we are back. Let me tweak my camera just a hair. There we go. Whoa. I did not mean to minimize OBS. All right. Now we're back and not screwing stuff up. Wow, that's to be seen, I suppose. Oof. Oh, I can't see my list of tricks to remind me what it is I'm supposed to be working on. Oh. Why Unc flipping so fast now? Holy crap. What? How is it that Unc is flipping very fast? As opposed to what? Like how I was flipping before I dropped my desk down? Ariel chap was clean. Thank you. I appreciate that. I would not as clean as I would like, but it's progress. So I will not complain about progress, nor will I complain about a compliment. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Flippopotamus. I don't know. Maybe I flip faster when I'm sitting down and I didn't realize it. I prefer slow flipping myself, so that is kind of strange that that my flipping would speed up when I'm getting more comfortable. You would think that it would be more slowy and flowy if I'm comfortable, but who knows? Also, I sent the message about the Pacific and why I think it's bland. Gotcha. Okay. What else? So there's that infinity loop I have been working on to get the helix aerial. And then what else? I have, because Blue Bomber sent it to me, I have a infinity loop for, I don't know if I can do it sitting down, but an infinity loop for the choker fan that I've been able to start spamming. I can't do it as consistently or smoothly as I would like, but I can do it better on the Orion S than I can on, say, the Kraken. So, what's good? What's going on, Jax? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. And Eldon says, bye. Bye. Bye, Eldon. Ooh. And Blue Bomber says, oh yeah, I was failing at some Helix aerials earlier today. Got to make peace with those. Yeah, so the way that I have been spamming the Helix aerial, I mean, is quite literally just it's basically my behind the 8-ball Helix loop. And every time I get to the Helix, I just do a Helix aerial instead. And it is making me more comfortable with the Helix aerial now. Still not, I still feel like it's not as flat as a lot of people's Helix aerials, but that's going to work itself out over time, I'm sure. I mean Helix aerial loop by themselves, if that helps you at all. What? Oh, you meant the aerial loop. Yeah, I am a big fan of loops. So when Brian sends me the cherry picker loop, and I can start drilling that, that'll be epic. Skull Flipper, hello, can't stay but wanted to come say hi. Thank you, Skull Flipper, I appreciate it. Welcome to the show for a little bit. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully the first half of the week has been treating you kindly, and hopefully the second half of the week you knock it out of the park. Hopefully life has been treating you well. But thank you for stopping in, even if it's just for a second. That's really cool. I appreciate it. Oh, I could have gotten into that. No, that was, I forgot the helix. Oh, lost my momentum. Ugh. Yeah, it's not as easy to do a lot of the things that I'm working on when I'm sitting down as opposed to standing up, but my my legs are starting to get tired. Thank you. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can do the loop once I stop pausing at the catch. Orion S does tricks on its own sometimes. I love the Orion S. I cannot in any way, shape, or form, there's nothing that I can choker fan as well as I can with the Orion S. The probably the next easiest valley that I have to choker fan in comparison to the Orion S, honestly, is the Crescent. I am not on Top Chat. Oops. Nope, I'm not on Top Chat, David. I was earlier, but it was a while ago. Probably 15 minutes into the stream. So if I'm missing a comment, it might be hidden. My message doesn't want to send. Cool beans. Was that the message that didn't want to send? All right, let's see. No, I didn't figure so. Because that wouldn't necessarily have been worth, bringing up the fact that I didn't I didn't mention it. Let's get some community crack and love going. It was lost my momentum. Is a sad Unc reference. Yeah, it happens though. I mean, there are times where I'm really in the groove and I go into a extended twirl and my fingers just get in front of the belly as opposed to getting out of the way, and it just throws everything off. I mean, there are many opportunities to lose my momentum. No, it was a little funny because you sounded so disappointed. I was disappointed. I do that stuff sometimes too. It kills me. Ooh. I'm mid combo popping off and I screw up a thumb roll to Chaplin and I'm like, yeah. Or when you're really feeling flowy and you're like, all right, now is the perfect time to throw in uh, a choker fan, and you don't get any grip on the belly for whatever reason. I feel like I got to get zippy inserts for my Orion S. Do I wish the blade? Wait, do wish the blade were a skosh heavier? Oh, you have a Orion S trainer. Gotcha. Because I know that you can. I know that they do have zippy inserts for the comb too, but it's literally just this little circle here, and maybe this part, but I think it's just the one at the very bottom. So not this. I think it's just that Zippy has an insert for, and I've toyed around with the idea of getting it, and it's like, no, I love everything about this Bali. I wouldn't do anything to adjust it. However, admittedly, if PR Balisong, came up to me and said, "Hey, we'll give you the Heritage comb if you give up your LDY Orion S comb blade," I'm pretty sure I would make that trade in a heartbeat, because that Heritage comb by PR Balisongs is everything that I love about this, but in titanium with an even cooler looking blade, or even cooler looking comb. Unc, I want to do a Bali meetup so bad, but there's literally like 2 other flippers in all of Romania. And they're not the greatest. Oh, well, that's a bummer. Oof. Yeah, I love Bali meetups, but on the same accord, they're very They're very difficult for me because I am horrible with face-to-face interactions with groups of people. Like I literally have no idea how to talk to other people. And I can go into it thinking, oh, well, it's like, if you're at a Bali meetup, everybody's interested in Balis, so just talk about Balis. I've only been in the hobby for a year, so there's so much Bali related that I don't know. Like a lot of people talk about Balis that, of companies that closed their doors, years before I even started flipping. So even when you're talking Bali stuff, there's so much that I don't know that yeah, it's rough. Ghost Flipping says, "Yo, Bali Unc, what is going on, Ghost? I hear that you got a really, really, really sick new Bali. I am sorry that I missed the stream if that is where it had its debut because I don't think I've seen you drop a video on it yet. But I hear that you got a really, really sick new Bali, and congratulations to you. Okay, I keep you keep saying stuff that my OBS wants to translate. Oh, what's up? Not a whole lot. Just flipping. Yeah, flipping and chatting. It has been a very busy stream today. Lots of chatter in the chat. Lots of chatting. So, I have probably been very repetitive in my flipping, but I have been so occupied by dialogue and reading the chat and all of that that I haven't even been bothered to notice how bland and boring my flipping has been. Oops. So, yes, B2 first prod, Bowie crack, and I'm really happy with it. I'm happy for you. That is so cool. And I hear you got it in red, dual tone. Is that right? Hydrakin could be coming soon, guys. Very cool. I need a Hydrakin. I love my Kraken. I love my Krakens and have no prospects for getting my hands on a Hydra anytime soon. Coupled with the fact that I now have the Unc Trainer, the Unc Kraken, and the Community Kraken, and I don't think I would mess around with the only thing that I would do to mess around with any of these at this point is I might, like I've said before, I might swap one of the handles on these two so that both of these are both pink and teal because both of these colors pop equally, and I think that they would look really good together. Red dual tone, yes, finally a red Bali back in the collection. Very nice, excellent. I want my first live blade. Well, are they? I don't know the rules in Romania. Are they legal to have in Romania, or are you limited to trainers by law versus parental guidance? They're legal to own, illegal to carry. Okay, got it. Well, then whenever the time comes for you to get one, then good luck and have fun. But I don't know. For me, like the live blade thing, like the only reason I ended up moving into live blades was literally, this was Pez Flips's Bally Plus rep, and I thought that would be cool to have. Is a Bally that was previously owned by one of my YouTube people that I watched regularly, and then this one, because of the Christmas edition, it was the only thing. The only reason I ended up getting this was because because I thought it would be cool to have a Christmas Bali. And then from there, it was just a matter of, okay, well, which is better, the trainer version or the live blade version? So for example, when I got the Kite AL, I was only interested in the trainer. When the Kite AL 1.5 came out, um, the Rev Tonto looked amazing. So it was an aesthetic thing for me, not the fact that it was a live blade. Um, and then, yeah, I don't know, that the answer only came in a live blade. The Krakens, I knew after flipping, the trainer that Ethan had sent me, I knew that the live blade balance was better. So that's the only reason I started on a live blade Kraken. So for me, the only benefit in a live blade is if the live blade brings, a part of the flipping experience, if it elevates the flipping experience. But to each their own. Nah, that's sweet. One of the places I wanted to wait. Okay, that's okay. Wait, David, you live in Romania? That's so sick. Yeah, you didn't know that? That's like my whole thing. I'm this random kid from Romania doing Bali content and tuning into streams at 3 o'clock in the morning. One of the places I want to travel to. What does this say? Romanian boy. Okay. It was translated to Romanian oxen. And then I started on live blade. I flipped for 17 years and got my first trainer a few months ago and love it. Gotcha. Nice. Unc, I have a really important exam next year, and my parents said if I got a good result in it, I could travel to the US, and I'm wondering which state to go to. Oh man, I'm not the person to ask because I don't like going places. I am a homebody. So, I mean, I'm in Michigan, Michigan's cool. I don't know that there's a lot to do in Michigan, but we're surrounded by lakes, freshwater lakes, and we have a lot of like uh freshwater. And when I say like surrounded by lakes, I mean like each lake is giant, giant. But Arizona is sick because you have Red Rocks, you have the Grand Canyon, you have, man, there's so much in Arizona. Texas is cool because you have Austin, you have Houston, you have so many things to do in so many cities. It also depends on Upper Peninsula Michigan is sick. That is true. As a matter of fact, Michigan, while most of the country doesn't know it, we actually have mountains in Michigan. The Porcupine Mountains are in the far west portion of the Upper Peninsula. But yeah, Florida, if you're looking for touristy stuff, New York, I've been to New York a couple of times in work. I've never been to like New York City, so I don't know. I'm from Indiana. I would advise you to not go there. It sucks. um, yeah, I mean, it really, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. There's lots to do in California. There's lots to do a lot of places. I mean, I don't know. Do your research before you commit. But so long as you look it up and you do some touristy recommendations or find some touristy recommendations, I'm sure you'll love wherever you go. I wish Blade Show would be in like July so I could go because said exam is in late June. Gotcha. Yep. That would be cool if you were able to make it to Blade Show. All right. Well, I think we've hit the hour and a half mark. My back is starting to get achy despite my sitting. So I think we're going to start shutting things down, getting things wrapped up. But before I do, all of my lurkers that haven't been too talky in the chat, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. I love the lurkers. You guys know that. Don't come to New Jersey unless you're bringing money. When I'm out of this torture called school. Wait, okay, I'm reading backwards. Yeah, crazy concept. Ghost flipping actually goes to a blade show for once. That would be awesome. When I'm out of this tortured called school, don't come to New Jersey. Colorado is sick. That's true. Colorado is really cool. I went bouldering in Colorado, which is funny because there is a Boulder, Colorado. But bouldering is like climbing mountains, but instead of mountains, you're climbing boulders. Did that once when I was really, really young. And hitchhiked too, without adult supervision, which is not advisable. Was really, really dumb also. Got 14,000 foot mountains. Not sure if Romania has mountains. Bye, Unc. I'm gonna go to bed now. That's cool. I'm closing up shop. Bye, David. Thanks for dropping in. Have a good night's sleep. Have a great rest of the week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Unc. Have a great night. Y'all have a great night. All right, cool. So we are all set. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. For now, we're getting everything wrapped up and shut down. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love you.